grapes, my dad picked grapes, and guess what? I picked grapes. And I remember that one day, this is what happened to me. This is why it's so important for you to learn how to read at such a young age. It took me forever to learn how to read. And I'm still trying to learn how to read today. But anyways, many years ago, something happened in my life that changed my entire life. But I also want to say that there are 3 things that I love with a passion. Young people, listen to me because I'm talking to you, okay? The first thing that I love with a passion is I love God with a passion.
That's right.
The second thing that I love with a passion is I love my family with a passion. The third thing that I love with a passion is I love being Latino with a passion. I love looking in the mirror and saying, boy, I love being Richard Montanez. Young people, that's what you should be doing. Young ladies, you should look in the mirror and say, you know what, I love who I am. I want to tell you right now, because see, being Latinos, from the generation that I came from, we always dreamed about being great, but we never expected to be great. But I want to tell you young people today, you don't need anybody's permission to become great. Now I also want you to understand, listen, everything that you need to be successful in your life today is already inside of you.
That's right.
Your job is to let it out. How do you let it out? By reading, by dreaming. I mean, here I am, okay? Let me tell you my story. 1960 something. I'm crying because that's the year that they allowed Latinos to go to the regular school. Well, there I am crying, and my mom saying, Chillón, ¿qué tienes? Like, you know, no quiero ir a esa escuela. I don't want to go to that school. My mom said, ¿por qué, mijo? Porque todos hablan inglés. Because everybody speaks English. How am I going to go to school? All I speak is Spanish, because you got to remember, young people, in my days, in his days, if you wanted a driver's license, you better know English. There was no such thing as bilingual classes. We weren't accepted. So there I go. And guess what? They put me on the green bus. And I'm like, Mom, how come I can't get on the yellow bus? Here's what was happening. Young people, listen. Here's what was happening. Society was telling me, Richard, you and the rest of the Latinos, you're not good enough to get on the yellow bus. You got to get on the green bus. Because that way, when you go across town, the whole city's going to see. There they go. They're going to our school, but they're not good enough to get on the yellow bus. I wanted to get on that yellow bus. So I get to school. I can't speak a word of English. Some people tell me, you still can't speak English. One of these days I'm going to take an English class. So there I am. I hear the teacher, I don't know what she's saying. You know, young people, I'm ashamed of one thing. I quit school at a very young age. Don't do that. Listen, I'm vice president without an education. Can you imagine what you could be with an education? You could be president. So here I am in the 3rd grade. Then all of a sudden I hear that bell, recess. Everybody knows that language. It's a bilingual tone. Like, oh, okay, lunchtime. So we go to lunch. It was 1960 something, okay? We go to lunch, and I pulled out my lunch. I'm ready to take a bite. It was just like this. Everybody's staring at me. And I put my lunch back inside the bag. Why do you think I did it? Who knows why I put my lunch back in the bag? Yes, because I had a burrito. Ladies and gentlemen, it was 1962. The world hadn't seen a burrito yet. Contrary to popular belief, Taco Bell didn't introduce the burrito to the world. Me and my mom did. But I remember I put the burrito back and I went home and I told my mom, Mom, hazme un bologna sandwich con un cupcake como los otros. Mom, make me a bologna sandwich like the other kids and put a cupcake in there. Young people, listen to me. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The reason I said that is because I didn't want to be different. I wanted to be like the other kids. Why do I have to be on a green bus? Why do I have to have a burrito? Why can't I have a bologna sandwich? And my mom, being the marketing genius that she is, she said, no, mijo, this is who you are. So that was Wednesday. Thursday, she made me 2 burritos. She said, here's one for you and one to share with a friend. So you can make a friend. So that was Wednesday, I had my burrito night here. Thursday, I shared a burrito with a friend. Friday, I was selling burritos for 25 cents a piece. Young people, that's when I realized at a young age that guess what? There was something special about being different. That it was okay if you didn't look like everybody. As a matter of fact, it was an advantage that you were being different. And that's what I want to tell you today. That's why, I wrote this book. It's a simple book, but it has such great leadership principles. Because again, let me fast forward now. 1976, I hear that they're hiring at Frito-Lay. Frito-Lay, you mean the famous Doritos and Tostitos and potato chips? Yeah, so no education. I went and I applied. And that night, they hired me. And you know what they hired me to do?
Speak Spanish.
To mop the floors. That day changed my life. I went from picking grapes to being a janitor. I was the person that was mopping the floors. And somebody said, why are you so excited? You're just a janitor. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no such thing as just a janitor. There's no such thing as just anything. Whatever you do it the best you can. Remember what your mom, your father, your grandfather taught you. Montanez, mijo. If you're going to mop that floor, it better shine like a kid. Well, destiny will have it. Because I mopped that floor like, I wanted to make sure like, mop this floor. The guy that was excited, good job. But listen, destiny would have it that it would change my life because I did a good job. So one day I'm mopping the floors, and I'm mopping under the Cheeto line. And the Cheeto line breaks. There's no cheese going on. And you know us Latinos, right? We're not going to have no food without something on it. So I took some home. And I decided to think, what would happen if I put chile on it? So I put chile on it. It tasted good. I gave some to my wife. She took it to her friends at work. They loved it. I took it to my work and said, hey, try this. They loved it. Next thing you know, I called up the president. I told him, I have an idea. He said, who are you? I said, the janitor. He said, I'll be there in 2 weeks. But you know what, young people, listen to me. I don't care what room you're in. There's always somebody that'll try to steal your destiny. Your job is not to allow them. You know that there's greatness in you. So there I am, the janitor, talking to the president. I hung up. Here comes the plant manager saying, who do you think you are, calling the president? I didn't know anything. He said, you're doing the presentation. I didn't know what to do, so me and my wife, we went to the library. We checked out a book on how to create a marketing strategy. You know what we did? We copied it word for word. I went to the store and bought me a tie for $3 and put it on. And here comes all the executives in the corporate jet to hear the janitor. Here I am talking, and it's going very good. I finally, we copied word for word. But somebody in the room is always going to try to steal your destiny. One of the marketing executives said, Richard, how much market share are we talking about? Market share? I haven't read that chapter yet. So I'm thinking, that little boy with the burrito came back. I wanted to get off the stage. Which way do I go? What am I doing? Who do I think I am? I'm talking to all these educated people. But then I also realized, young people, this is what I want you to understand. Many times greatness will come in a ridiculous form. Some of the greatest ideas were ridiculous. So there I was, market share. I remember the story. The rats and the potato chip wrapper with the most ridiculous, biggest smile you've ever saw. I said, this much market share. You know how ridiculous that is? But yet the CEO stood up and said, ladies and gentlemen, do you realize we have the opportunity to go after that much market share? The vice president of sales told his sales team, do you realize, sales team, we can go get that market share? I had no idea that that ridiculous statement would lead to $1 billion a year new product.
Yeah.
So young people, what I'd like to tell you today is don't let anybody steal your destiny. I don't have an education, but I teach leadership classes all over the country. I teach leadership classes at 2 universities. I won't mention their name because I don't know if they want people to know that I teach there because I don't have a degree. But let me give you an example. One day I'm teaching a class, MBA students. One of the students says, Mr. Montanez, can I ask you a question? Sure, go right ahead. Where did you get your degree? Because all my professors are degreed. Somebody always in the room trying to steal your guess. I said, University of Rancho Cucamonga. The young man said, where's that in? Don't worry about it, private school, you couldn't get in. So I went back. He said, well, another question. Most of my professors have PhDs. Oh, I have a PhD. I've been poor, hungry, and determined. So I hope that you can get a copy. I didn't write this for money. I don't need any money. You know what? I never went out after money. You know what I went after? Happiness. Money will find happiness. Happiness doesn't find attractive. You just become attractive. When you begin to love yourself, other people, you're to the point where, you know what? I hope everybody in this room loves me. But if you don't, guess what? It's okay. You know why? Because I love myself.
That's right.
Once you get to that point, you don't need anybody's approval. Because you know that you're going to make it. So, I hope you can get a copy today, okay? My family.
Thank you very much, Richard. God bless you. The next performance will be Maribel. When